Let me ask you something and answer honestly. If I told you right now that your dream is guaranteed to come true, but only after you fail, not once, not 10 times, but 100 times, 100, would you still start? Because most people love success stories, but nobody signs up for failure number 73, failure number 12, motivating, failure number 20, still hopeful. But failure number 63, that's where things get quiet. That's where your friends stop asking. That's where your parents start worrying. That's where even you start wondering, maybe this isn't meant for me. But what if that's exactly the point? We have been sold a very comfortable lie that successful people are different, more talented, more gifted, more lucky. Like they woke up one day and just become great. But history doesn't tell the story. Thomas Edison failed over 1000 times before creating a working light bulb. And when someone asked him about heat, he said, I have not failed. I have just found 100 ways that won't work. That sounds inspiring until you imagine actually living those 1000 failures. That's not motivation, that's stubbornness on another level. Even Michael Jordan, arguably the best or greatest basketball player ever, was cut from his high school team. Cut, literally. Imagine that the guy who defined greatness was once told he wasn't good enough. So maybe the question isn't are you talented? Maybe the real question is how many times can you lose and still show up the next day? In mythologies, heroes are never tested once, they are tested repeatedly. Take Hercules. He didn't do one task and become a legend. He had to complete 12 impossible labors, each one harder than the last. And here's the interesting part, no one remembers Hercules for trying, they remember him for enduring. Failure works the same way. It's not there to stop you, it's not there to filter people out. Because by the time you reach attempt number 50, most people are gone. By attempt 70, you are alone. By attempt 90, you start to realize something strange. You're not doing it for success anymore. You're doing it because you have come too far to quit. And that's where the transformation begins. Let's talk about what actually happens psychologically because failure doesn't just test your skills, it attacks your identity. At first, you say, I fail, then slowly it becomes, I'm a failure, and that shift, that dangerous. In the anime Naruto, there is a character named Rock Lee. He was neither talented, he didn't have any special powers. In a world of geniuses, he had nothing except one thing relentless effort. He trained when others rested, failed when others succeeded, caught back up and when others would quit, and people laughed at him until one day they didn't. Because effort compounds. Failure teaches things success never can. Patience, resilience, self control. Things that don't look impressive on Instagram but build unstoppable people. Another example is Might Guy in this same Naruto verse. This is the part nobody talks about, the middle. Not the beginning, where everything is exciting. Not the end, where everything makes sense. But the middle, where nothing is working. You have failed 47 times, then 62, then 79. And the worst part, there is no guarantee it will ever work. This reminds me of the movie The Pursuit of Happiness. There is a scene where Chris Gardner is sleeping in a bathroom with his son. No money, no stability, just hope. And even that is fragile. Because failure isn't just painful, it's embarrassing. People watch, people judge, people move on. And you're still here there, trying again. And that's when the real question hits you. Is this courage or am I just being stupid? And honestly, sometimes it feels like both. But something strange happens after enough failures. You stop fearing them because you have seen the worst and survived. In Attack on Titan, the soldiers know something important. They are not fearless. They are just willing to move forward despite fear. That's courage. By failure number 80, 90, 100, you become dangerous. Not because you're the best, but because you don't quit. And most people they quit early, which means you don't have to be extraordinary to win. You just have to last longer. And then one day it works. Attempt 100 success. And you expect fireworks, music, some cinematic moment, but what you actually feel is quiet. Because success doesn't change you instantly. Failure already did. That version of you who couldn't handle rejection, gone. That version of you who needed validation, gone. What's left is someone who can handle anything. So let's go back to the question. What you have to quit, you have to fail 100 times before success. Would you still start? Because here's the truth which no one tells you. You might not know which attempt will work, but success is often just the moment you outlast everyone else. Winston Churchill once said, success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And maybe, just maybe, your success isn't waiting for you to be perfect, it's waiting for you to not give up. So, the real question is not what if you fail 100 times, but what if you quit at 99? That 100 time is your success, but you quit at 99. If this hits you, subscribe and comment one thing you have felt at but refuse to quit. Because who knows, you might already be on attempt 99 and success might be closer than you think.